Yeah. Hi there, everyone, and welcome back to episode 10 of Backseat Musicians.
Backseat Musicians. 10.
We made it. We made it to episode 10.
Yeah. Just with another day.
Yeah, man.
How's your other stuff going?
It's all right. One thing at a time. I'm kind of... Yeah, I'm still getting over, like, the fear of being in front of a camera, bro. Like, it's different when we're doing this, because I can kind of ignore it, and I can just talk to you. But when you're, like, standing in front of the camera, you have a script that you have to remember, or you have to sing, and you need to make sure that that take is as perfect as possible so the record is nice. But also you want it to sync up to a camera. You know what I mean? That kind of shit. Yeah, it's a different... You get very pedantic very quickly, man. It's a bit of a trip.
It's funny because when I record stuff at home, like different sessions, the minute you put the camera on, so you, like a person's already a little bit nervous, like recording session, and then you put the camera on, and they like never make more mistakes than normal. And the minute you say, okay, I'm not recording, I won't record video anymore, they just nail the take.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah, like but it's something to really work on. Like with my album, I made sure that I recorded most of my own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't fix things. Like I wanted, because I'm recording MIDI for all the piano parts, I didn't want to like be able to fix things. I mean, I wanted to make sure that I played it right. As if I was playing a real piano. So I refused to fix things, and I made sure I recorded everything, even though like I'm not using all of the videos that I made of it. It's like adding that extra pressure to allow myself to grow. So this is the take. Or like obviously I wouldn't do it at one take, but I mean I would do takes in front of the camera, recording it live and not fix it. So there's like, natural, maybe the odd mistake here or there or fumble in my playing, but I wanted that. I didn't want to create a static, lifeless creation by fixing everything.
Yeah,
and that's the cool thing about, like you say, it's a different ballgame. It's something you have to actually practice.
Yeah.
And get comfortable in. But it's a really good practice because even if you're not recording for a purpose, like you're doing it now for something.
Yeah.
It's good to do that even if you're not. Even if you're just practicing to get better. Because, it'll show you. It'll expose your weaknesses quite quickly.
Yeah, it really will. Do you know what I think it is? So, like, as musicians, so when you become a performing artist, you sort of like sign on in your head to things being available to the public. And musicians, they don't think that they're signing up to be seen. They think they're signing up to be heard. So we're more secure about what people hear about us than what they see. So when they see us and hear us, we panic. I think that just a thought that popped into my head. I don't know how accurate it is, but
maybe I think that would maybe be more personal for you.
Maybe, yeah.
For me, it's always been an image thing. I believe if you're a performing artist, you'd need to realize that people see you before they hear you.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, is that doesn't click for most musicians, because we don't think that immediately. We think, cool, we're going to be behind, like for example, you're a drummer. You're like, oh, cool, I'll be behind the kit, like no one's going to see me.
No, I know what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's each person, because for me, from a young kid playing piano thingies, it's like I quickly, from my first one, I realized you're not thinking about anything at that age. You're just nervous because you're nervous. I quickly realized that walking onto the stage, that set the standards for for my actual performance. And I stood for like, I quickly realized they're going to see me before they hear me. So for me, it was actually, that's why, like, my physique is something I take seriously, which I've neglected past couple of weeks. And I've not been eating healthy. But I mean, that's why it's something that I'm very concerned about, and why it's a thing that I always tell people, like, make sure you'll feel good in your own skin, so that, because they will almost always see you before they hear you.
Yeah.
If you think about it, if you are on a massive multi-million-dollar production, right, Daniel van der Veld, you know, in shining lights, and your first thing that you were going to do coming on the stage, you're like a full band and full tracks, and, you know, proper Michael Jackson type of show, and you did a thing where you started singing before they saw you, they'd still only start judging you from when you came out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Did you get what I'm saying?
Because I've done that as an audience member. I know that. Like, where you hear, like, I think, who is it? I can't remember which show. I was watching a recording of a show, but, like, I think it was Bublé, even Bublé or someone who, I guess, started singing before they came on stage. But then it feels like a disembodied voice until he walks out with the lights.
And then the camera
yeah.
And then, you know.
And then it's like, oh, he's actually here now.
Yeah. So, like, no matter how good that you could have done the most amazing, the most technically amazing thing, whatever it was, and it could have been the most spiritually amazing thing too. I still wouldn't have the same death as walking on there confidently.
Yeah. No,
looking sharp, whatever that meant.
Yeah. No,
so I mean, I'm not like something. I think there are people who will not have realized that, and there are people that will have. And I'm very, very much aware about the physical part of it. I know that it doesn't mean that, like, I don't always I do know that I look stupid sometimes when I'm singing. I mean, playing. You know, I'm aware of that. But when I do that, I'm giving off a lot of energy, and that in my mind makes up for it. So, like, yes, I don't want to be pulling these stupid jazz faces, you know.
Yeah.
And it's something that I'm trying to work out. But I'm not that hard on it. Not like becoming insecure about the fact that I look like this in that point.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, I'm giving off energy, and that part of the physical thing is, you can hear energy maybe, but there's nothing beats that hearing it and seeing it. So when you see the band just, like, really digging in and whatever, like, you know, that I feel like it makes up for the vibe, like whatever else is not there, or whatever stupid thing you're doing at that moment, you know.
Like, even
groove face.
Like, you know the trumpet thing that I do when I solo. Do you know how many people people comment on that more than my solos? Like,
you mean like non-musicians?
Yeah. Like there'll be like after Jazz Fest, like, some people really hate it. They find it super annoying, but I don't care, because it's a mnemonic thing for me. But people talk about it all the time. They'll be like, oh yeah, I really enjoyed that set, but yo, what's the trumpet thing? Are you actually playing the notes? Like, what are you actually doing?
So interesting, because I always wondered why singers do that, because it must have been a physical learned thing, because it's a completely unnecessary thing, right?
Yeah.
Because do you know what makes me say that is that there are singers who can't play an instrument, trumpet, saxophone, piano, that do that.
Yeah.
So it's been something that they've learned from, like, I don't know who. The same as, like, my faces that I pull when I play piano. I saw it on pianists, and when you're young, it impressions you and you go, that's what it looks like to be burning. Do you know what I'm saying? It's literally it's something that's a subconscious decision when you were young that triggered you. Went, this is what it means to be hip, or whatever. You don't know what hip is at the time, but, like, this is what a professional pianist does. Sure, a professional singer does. This is what a trumpet does. You know, the saxophonist, you know, like, you know, leaning back and playing into the air. You know, like, this is what becomes very impressionable. And not everyone does, but a lot of people do. Like, I know that the face that I pull, I saw it on Mark Fransman when I was, like, really young.
But you see, the thing is, admittedly, I didn't see the trumpet thing in any singers, because I didn't check out singers who scattered before I started scatting.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, just speaking of the silly face thing and like this, is that the reason why I don't care if people don't like it or like it, it's just that it's not ignoring the physical to enjoy the weird parts of your personality that come out on stage. If anything, it's embracing it, because you're actually being yourself on stage. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was the point I was trying to make there.
Yeah, sure. But like I said, maybe may not be for you. You are a trumpeter, and so, like, if that relates notes to your singing, it's okay. Like, and I'm not saying it's bad. For me, I know that most of the things that I do have been subconsciously learned. I don't like them. It's not me. Like I pull these stank faces because I remember how badly I wanted to be a jazz musician. Coming from a classical training, I'm not like highly trained. I'm just high school, did all my grades and competition. But like I wasn't a professional. But that was my main training. That was what I was forced to concentrate on. And then so badly hearing this jazz sound a little bit, and not being able to really understand how to get my piano playing to sound like a jazz pianist. When I got into first year, I yearned for that sound. I can't explain it, and it was very interesting. Hello, birds. It was very interesting. Not interesting. It was I'd play a Chopin piece, and it'd be quite. There'd be dominant sevenths and minor sevenths in there, whatever,
Yeah.
Rachmaninoff, there'd be, I remember my teacher used to be like, she didn't want me to do jazz, but she understood that I love jazz, so she'd come and be like, I found this piece for you, it's quite jazzy, I'm sure you'll love the chords, like that was it was like her bargaining to keep me into classical music, Shame, she was such an amazing teacher, she sacrificed so much, not sacrificed so much, but I mean, did so much, like in the holidays. And to keep me and the other pianists like going, she just gave us so many pieces. I remember grade 11, grade 12, we did so many pieces. Like not just like the 6 pieces for the year or whatever. We did like triple that. But anyways, the point is, so my ear was kind of used to 7th chords, as any classical musician would be, but it's the application of it which makes it sound a little bit different in jazz.
Yeah, definitely.
And I couldn't get that, and in my yearning to discover that, I started trying to find, like, you're learning theory in first year, sort of digger deeper and deeper, and you start going more and more out. Oh, learning about the half-whole scale, or and so like my playing became very, very angular, dissonant. And I still wasn't happy with the jazz sound. Like I wasn't sounding like a jazz pianist that you're gonna record. And so like kind of something that made up for that was subconsciously like look like you sound like a jazz musician. Like there's people that wear hats, like there's jazz musicians that wear hats. Like some of them it's cool, you look cool, but you can see some of them are like just wearing that because they're trying to be a jazz musician. Those guys. But that was my equivalent of it.
Yeah, interesting.
And the funny thing is that now I kind of sound like a jazz pianist. It's still like you listen to a pianist and go, how does he sound that jazzy? I still find that. But the funny thing is that what started like clicking is when I started playing simpler and simpler and simpler, I start sounding more and more jazz. And I'm talking about that classic jazz sound. Just
yeah.
The swing era, not too beboppy, just that typical, like really pretty Errol Garner type, Marion McPartland, like the simple, just nice jazz band. Not talking about being burning up. Just sound like there's something that makes me really happy about a trad swing tune.
Yes.
The swinging, like just like that simple piano playing, like simple jazz, like no, just nice in the pocket and like really tasteful playing. I'm talking about that kind of.
I know what you mean.
And anyways, the funny thing is it's actually playing less and less, and then you realize it's intention, actually, because we were listening to last night. I'm talking a lot today, hey, for someone that's extremely tired.
Yes.
Anyways, last night.
It's episode 10, baby.
So episode 10 will be my baby, and then you can have the next one. Episode 20, cool. You can just talk and rant. I was listening to. I was at a rehearsal yesterday afternoon at Gavin's house, and in his vinyl collection there was it was open at one section, and I could see a Keith Jarrett album. One of the it's called Still Live.
Okay.
It's the normal Jack DeJohnette and Gary Peacock and him. I don't know where it was performed, but he put it on for me. He said, listen to this version of When I Fall in Love. Listen to it and you realize, okay, cool, he's taken it up a tone. There's a tone. He either took it to F or he took it to C, I can't remember. I think it was F. But it was one of the two. I remember going to the piano and just double checking. But it was one of the two. And so he brightened it up a bit. Like for instance, C major is great for jazz standards. It could have been C. It's the sound of it. You know what I mean? Like keys is not just transposing a key doesn't always just like you're trying to make it bright or dark. You're trying to change the tonal quality of it.
Yeah.
You know, just because C major is a different sound. Anyways, he changed the key, and his left hand and the bass player doing interesting stuff. Not like arb different. Like he's sussing nicely every now and then on 5 or something. You like he suss on a 4 at one stage. Sorry, and then Keith's left hand is slightly interesting, altering the chords every now and then. But his left hand is diatonic. His left hand is just mostly the major scale. And like there's times he's just running up and down the scale. And it is so beautiful. And Gavin was talking about it. I was talking about like I remember transcribing him and found how interesting it was. And then Montesi was commenting like intention, you know. That's the thing. It's what we've been talking about a lot.
Yeah.
And something that I'm always believing, like your intention. That's how I have pianists come to me and say, like, how do you sound so big on the piano? Like, how do you play such big chords? And I go, and then I show them, like, I'm actually playing really small chords, actually. I'm playing really few notes, maybe 3 notes at a time sometimes, you know. Like, it's against the jazz sound, but it sounds jazzy, sounds big, sounds full, and it's more actually just my intention and my confidence in knowing what I can do with this, you know. And then Keith is obviously just at, like, a billion levels higher than that. Like the intention of it, like I'm not trying to be hip. I'm not trying to prove to you as a jazz musician or you as an audience member that I'm better or worse than the next guy, the next pianist you're going to watch in 2 weeks or whatever it is. I'm coming here to bless you with music. And he keeps it simple, keeps it beautiful. It's just so stunning. That intention thing, that the simplicity of it and bringing it back, like pretty sure he could play the nonsense out of it in terms of like, you know, these youngsters that are coming out now, they can play all these burning things and alternate. He doesn't.
Yeah.
Not often. Like even when if he starts getting really hectic, he still keeps it really simple actually. Sometimes he's like arpeggiating in very interesting ways and his left hand is very strong. But yet again, if you analyze the notes, you actually realize it's very simple.
Yeah.
I remember when Lily broke it down for me and we were analyzing stuff, I was disappointed at how simple it actually was, you know? It was the intention that changes it, though.
Yeah, it definitely
you know?
does. Definitely
and
does.
That's such a beautiful thing about music, no matter what it is, your intention. And then being able to back up the intentions. What's my intention? You still need to have a technical facility behind the intention.
Yeah.
That someone comes out, Keith Jarrett can make the nonsense out of a major scale because he's so comfortable in the major scale and more.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
Definitely.
like I mean, for me, intention. What are you intending on doing when you perform? Becoming a performer. Walking onto that stage. What is your intention for how you want to be received? Like I want people to look at me. One of my intentions of my working out is, like, I don't want to be the hottest guy. I don't want to be ripped. I just want you to go, oh, he works out.
Okay.
That's my intention in working out. Not because of like anything. I just want to go, oh, this guy takes himself. I look at someone. So you know you judge someone as you want to be judged. I look at someone. I look them up and down, male or female, and I check out, do they look after themselves? And one of my personal perceptions of looking after yourself is, how do you look physically? So hair, beard, eyebrows, arms, and then physical appearance with regards to physique. You know, like, does this guy work out? Doesn't have to be ripped and be like, you know, like some insanely ripped person. But you can see when someone takes health and themselves seriously by how they present themselves. So if I walk onto the stage, I want you to go, oh, this guy, he cares for himself. I respect people like that, and many people do. Whether you look after yourself or not, you look at someone else and go, oh, he looks after himself.
Yeah.
I esteem him a little bit higher than the next guy who doesn't.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
Physical appearance, even in any industry, you will go, like if you walk into an interview room, you look good, you look after yourself, you're already giving off a good impression.
Yes, no, definitely, man.
No matter what you're doing, and that's one of the things for me. Before they hear me, I need to give off the fact that I care. The fact that I thought about what I'm going to wear and how I'm going to look. So now, when I start playing, they go, he probably thought about what he's going to play and how he's going to sound. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
That's my perception of things.
Yeah.
Sometimes I dress down a little bit because I want to. I want them to go, why didn't he dress up? Why is he looking like that? And then, because it's maybe I was going to play this type of music, or because I wanted to give off this different thing compared to how I was going to play. Whatever it may be, there's a decision, generally, or it's what's clean.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I mean, look, even like, I wear a hoodie on this podcast for a reason. Because it's a colloquial conversation between us. You know, for those that know me, I wear a suit everywhere. Like, if I'm doing any kind of performance and I'm being seen, I wear a suit. But no, this is a different vibe. I'm even wearing my favorite T-shirt. You can tell by all the bright colors.
Yeah.
It's episode 10, guys. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, giving off. I mean, everything you do should be intentional.
Yeah, man. No, definitely. Yeah, funny. Speaking of pianists, so I've started doing this thing every Friday on my Instagram where I find 4 tracks I've been thinking about and I do a little paragraph on them, just because I want to be posting to my Instagram more, and I like to think about the music that I've been listening to for so long. Nice. Okay, so
I'll tell you how that sounds later.
Okay, yeah. Oh, interesting. Can be our first track for the Dake EP. There we go. Exclusive, ladies and gentlemen. But like
Worldwide exclusive.
Worldwide exclusive.
Worldwide premium.
Yep.
Okay,
that's it. It's all good. And I found this recording of Hancock, Brecker, and
Roy Hargrove.
No, and McFerrin doing Olio.
Oh, okay.
Crazy recording. McFerrin is a beast, man. And then after that, like, I was listening before you came here. Actually, I was listening to Nothing Personal, by Brecker, one of his tunes. And like, it's Brecker tunes. It's quite fast. Okay, but when you listen to the elements, it's like there's not much there actually in how the tune works. It's actually a bass line working against the swing. And then, yeah, like, and I mean a slightly diatonic line, like nothing crazy, like compared to how Brecker solos in that tune, like the melody is not like, oh, I'm trying to be hip, like it's just like a throwaway melody, and it's called Nothing Personal. And the tune sounds like that, and it's really a lot of fun. And I think when you talk about intention, what's really great about the intention of a master is that a master can take very little and make a lot out of it. And I think that's why you find someone like Hancock, who doesn't often show a lot of chops, and why people love him, is that he's someone who really does take nothing and make a lot out of it. Like he's based on, like Watermelon Man. Like, bruh, what that guy does with Watermelon Man or Cantaloupe Island. Like people.
What period are you talking about now?
What period?
So what he does with it, you talking about like the original recording, or more recently, or mid 80s?
I mean,
because he's been playing that for decades now.
Yeah, no. I mean, to be honest, most of the times I hear him play it, man. He always does a lot with it. Like, and you find. I remember like. It was like frowned upon to call that a jam session because it's too simple. But when Hancock calls that tune, you go, you know what I mean? Like, it's a different thing. It's the composer's intention with his tune.
You know what I find very interesting about that period of Hancock, the original recording? I remember going to go and find the record and CD, and I listened to it for the first time. And I was in first year, and listening to them go, how did this guy get famous? I was literally like, what is so special about this? I don't get it. Because I heard him playing with Miles first. Can't remember which album was Miles and Coltrane, and they were just touring at that stage, so it was just like a random live performance. Beautiful, like really, really nice playing. I remember doing one of his transcriptions with that group in Autumn Leaves, and it wasn't tricky, but it was not. It was really nice. Not simple though. and then checking out this. I was like, okay, so let me check out his roots. And he did this album. I was like, so how did he get to play with Miles? If he sounded like this, you know, I was like, this is boring. I can do this. This is simple. I can solo over this song better than that right now. Whatever age I was. And like 7 years later or something, listening to it again and going. I think I was cooking and it came on the radio randomly. And I kind of rolled my eyes because that was my last impression of it like that many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I playing this song? Because I had this impression of it forever. I've played the song myself and I just thought that he was crap. Now he's good. He was crap then. How do you get famous? Why am I not famous? You know?
Yeah.
And but then he, like mature person now, you know, many years later, goes, flip. This is genius. You know? At that time when I was searching for that jazz sound, I was searching for like, you know, everything, like burning, just like, blah. I remember like getting different pianists' albums and being disappointed because they didn't play enough, you know. And I was just quite one-track minded. Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't come out right. Felt weird. But later on I go, wow, this is amazing. I think I've actually spoken about this before, but it's a different sort of connotation now. You know, and it's very interesting you bring that up.
Yeah.
And he took a very simple solo, but it wasn't at the same time. It was really, really interesting.
Yeah, man. That's Hancock. Like, whenever I've heard Hancock, I've heard that in his playing. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think, and you know, those guys, and when you think about someone as, like, he's a fantastic solo artist, but when you think about someone like Miles trying to find a sideman, that's the guy you want, man. Yeah. Like, there's no competition. The guy who can make a lot out of nothing, who just sits there and will just do something beautiful with whatever you give him.
Yeah, his comping is so good. He's so out of the way.
You know what I'm saying?
He's so out of the way. Do you know there's another great pianist who played with Miles as well at that period? Wynton Kelly. Okay. Oh, man. Bluesy player. Daryl's favorite pianist. He says the pianists, if you just transcribe one of his solos, you'll have enough bebop to last your lifetime. You know. You know, like, he's exaggerating, obviously, but I mean, beautiful player, man. Simple, grooves really nicely, bluesy. He actually played on the So What album as well. What's it? Which one did he play? I can't get the names of the album. The bluesy one, like whatever the bluesy track on the album was, like free, not what?
Oh, Blue and Green, maybe?
No. It was like the more bluesy. It's Freddie Freeloader.
Oh, Freeloader.
I think so.
Okay.
Whatever. He did one of the tracks on the album.
Okay. Cool.
I remember Bull didn't do everything.
Yeah.
And I think the one piano solo on the album is him.
Oh, really?
I think Bull never takes. I can't. It's ages since.
Yeah, me too. But
if I understand correctly, like one of the solos on the album, the one solo, whatever it is, it's him, not Bull. But really nice player as well. Simple. You know, nothing out of this world. But I mean, he is out of this world. But I mean, he doesn't do anything that 18-year-old me would have gone wow for.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. And at the same time, you think about the players that Miles had chosen around that. I don't know if Paul Chambers was still with Miles when Hancock was there. But the fact that Paul Chambers was in that band tells you the kind of player he liked to work with. And that's why Hancock makes so much sense.
Or sort of. I think Miles didn't have a specific thing he liked to play with because then Coltrane wouldn't have been there. Because Coltrane doesn't fit Paul Chambers or Hancock really well.
Yeah, but again,
you get what I'm saying?
But that's a horn. It's a different thing.
Not really, because Coltrane would often change the vibe. So you'd be soloing and Miles would take this solo, and then Coltrane would take a different solo. He'd be exploring, he'd be searching. And he was cool with that.
Yeah, but the thing is, okay, but you don't, as a band leader, you don't rest upon your horn player. You rest upon your rhythm section. I think that's why those decisions make a bit more sense to me. Just thinking about how I would build that band.
Yeah. I think it was very interesting because it changed a lot. You know, at one stage, McCoy Town was also like not the same as Herbie. You know.
I mean, look. Miles clearly liked variety, so he
That's
would
what-
have. You know, like
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it
no, no,
depended,
no.
and who he put in the band decided how they were going to play.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, definitely.
That's what I mean. Like it wasn't. There wasn't a specific thing, and this is something that band leaders that I have learned to do now is that if you're used to playing with these people, someone else would come in and they wouldn't play the stuff right, in my opinion of right. You know, especially when it was original music. I'd get like disturbed. I would be like upset about it, you know. As opposed to learning, I remember I was playing with one of these older guys and the band was changing and I was in the band. And then the songs would completely be different. And he'd be like, "Oh, that's a nice take." He wouldn't tell you what to do. He'd go, "Here's the recordings," or like, "Here's the charts." Cool, let's start. And the songs would often end up quite different just because of the different type of player that was available for the gig or whatever it was. And him just being like, "Oh, that was a nice take on that." You know, and just allowing whatever, just allowing whoever it was that that was playing with you now to be themselves, and that would now inform how my song would then be interpreted. You know, and that's a great thing. And Miles did that really well. That just okay, you're gonna bring you. I mean, he did. I remember the stories of him telling Herbie like, "I want you to play like this and I want you to play like that." Those times, but Herbie claims it to be Miles allowing him to grow and not because Miles wanted it.
Yeah, no, like because it would be things like just use your right hand on this album, you know, like just try this and try that, like that's like a playful growth kind of thing, you know. It's not something going, no, you have to play it my way, you have to do, you know what I mean? That was his vibe. Yeah, no, the point I was making about Herbie and Paul is just that, like, when you're sitting there like 18 wondering how Herbie got in, like I'm just sitting there going, yeah, like Paul and Herbie, like you can see the kind of player he liked to have. You can see that was the kind of player he really enjoyed, because the band leader still has to choose the guy. You know what I mean? You still have to choose him, even if they bring different things. There's something you have to like about them to let them be themselves. So he would still be discerning the players he wanted. He wouldn't just book the random burning cats. He would book cats he actually wanted there.
No, sure. I mean, like, who's the one guy? Oh wait, McCoy never played with Miles.
Did he not?
McCoy is the only pianist that didn't play. Who's the other one I was thinking of now?
Okay.
That's funny. Hey, like McCoy is like one of the only famous guys that never played with Miles.
Really?
Like of that sort of era.
Okay, that shows my knowledge of the Miles bands that I agreed with you.
Never corrected me.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Even McCoy. Technique for years. But in that period of Miles, not appropriate. He felt, you know. But not an evaluation of the ability of McCoy.
Yeah, but the thing is that not getting into a band of a certain person realistically is not necessarily an evaluation of your ability.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It really is, unless the band leader is an idiot, you know, and just books people for certain chops. And that band's going to be terrible anyway, so don't worry about it. It's about how you work together. Yeah.
Chops.
Yeah.
I mean, you can book on chops, but then you have to be a strong character.
Yeah, that's what I'm
to hone chops in for whatever you need, unless it is literally a chop band.
Yeah.
Bry band.
Yeah. South Africa.
Because, I mean, you see, like, for instance, in session work now, so say you're recording a popish album.
Yeah.
You don't book for synergy often. Unless there's a live recording.
But you see, that's session. We're talking about bands here.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make it relate to other things besides a jazz setting.
No, I'm got you.
And but definitely I do agree in that relationship thing. But in areas, you know. Because I mean I would wonder, so never been involved in the process, but I'd wonder, like, so say music director for I don't know, Charlie Puth. Says about, does he tour with the band?
I think he does.
Okay, let's take Justin Bieber. We know he tours with the band.
Yeah.
Whoever the music director is,
yeah,
he phones the people up. I wonder if I have a feeling he just books based on chops.
Yeah, he probably would.
Because I know there was there was one guy that got booked from just watching videos online. The drummer, at one stage. The guy, he just had like really cool chops, and he got booked. And I don't think the bass player and him had ever played together. And there's your first relationship that's supposed to be in. But if you're just playing recorded music and simple-ish music, that it can work. But then again, you're probably getting paid enough money to tour with Justin Bieber to just shut up and do whatever you're told.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? That's a bit different. Like in that situation, again, it's like a production. It's like a musical theater thing. You're on tour with the guys. You get with the program.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
you pay your bills.
Yeah.
You shut up.
Like it's different if, for example...
Am I paying you to talk, Daniel?
I mean, it's like when I'm thinking about my pop project now. Like I'd wanna work as a trio. So like me, a bass player, and a drummer, and obviously like record a bit differently. But you know, that's not the point. But and see, in that situation, I've set a precedent. You know, I've decided this is going to be the band, and also we're starting.
So I'm the bass player, right? I don't know why you're laughing.
What the fuck? But like,
wow. Lovely stuff. Enjoy you.
Okay, so Blake's going to talk for the rest of the episode, so I'll be able to talk for a bit. I'm kidding, man. You know I'm kidding.
I need my camera now.
Okay. No, but look, okay, so I'd have that band, and also because we're starting out, like I would have to,
book me on bass.
There would be an aspect of synergy that would be important because we'd really need to cook, if you know what I mean. And yeah, like it really depends. Look, at the end of the day, whatever you do in music has to be towards making good music, and that's it. You know what I mean? I think that's a real fundamental that I've sort of come to understand and like earnestly understand and earnestly try to do. And
like no ego attached.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're not sitting there, oh, I want to be the best singer. I'm going to sit and do. No. Make the best music in the way that you make it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's all you can do.
So here's a question for you.
Yeah.
It's more a hypothetical question, right?
Yeah.
So, making music, making nice music, making good music, your way. What is your way? Is your way... I mean, I'm not talking to you.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Is your way the way you're feeling it? Like whatever is just coming out? Or a conscious decision of wanting to make this type of music? I'll tell you why I'm posing that question.
Yeah, it's a good question.
I like so many genres.
Yeah.
I like way too much music.
Dude, me too. Like
so the struggle is on my next project. What do I do? Do you know what I mean? Like, do I go... every time you listen to a new song and you go... Flip. Like, for instance, Charlie Puth, like, it's so interesting because he's got so many different genres going.
Yeah, he does.
That's working for him.
Yeah.
Would it work for me?
Yeah.
Would it work for you? That's my question.
Yeah,
well, what do you think is the definition of music, of your way, your music, your, like, just music that comes out of you?
Yeah, that's tricky, man. Because, I've got a way of categorizing it at the moment, where I'm going to split it up depending on what it is. But even then, when I've split it up on the things, you're talking about like on one album essentially, right? Or just within one career.
No, not one career, because I mean, there's nothing wrong with changing throughout a career. I mean, say in a period.
Yeah. Okay.
Say you're just putting, I don't know, you're making music right now, which is gonna be released as it goes, either in singles or as albums, whatever that is. And we're talking about in the space of say 6 months or a year. So you can't change from... You could, but I mean, you wouldn't go from heavy metal to...
Indie.
Indie still like...
Yeah,
not that far. To...
chamber music.
No, that's even... metal is all about...
yeah, it is actually.
So like... But I mean, so like heavy metal to Katy Perry pop.
Yeah.
Britney Spears pop.
Yeah, more Britney Spears. Because Katy Perry's got a bit weird. But like, yeah.
No, what's that new song? Let's say Celine Dion, who just follows every trend.
Yeah.
Like I heard this vibing song the other day on radio, just on the top 100, and it was a Celine Dion song. It was a cool vibe, but the voice just sounded like a normal. I was like, I just never expected to be Celine Dion, but I had like a hunch. I was like, this irritating voice. But I mean, it was just like a normal thing, had a really cool beat, just a vibe. Not something I'd necessarily listen to 500 times, but I can't believe it. I was like, how old is she? 105? Gee. Anyways, okay, back to the top. The thing is, like, what was I saying?
Okay. Look, my thing is that it depends on if it's on the same album. That'll be a big thing for me. Or if it's... Because, yeah, it depends on how you release it.
No, because you see, something can be on the same album, be different genres, but have a theme. For instance, my love album's coming out. There's like the majority of the songs, only like 6 songs. The majority of them are similar, but there's like 2 that stand out completely. But the theme is continuous.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, so you can make that work. It really depends on how making. Again, it's like what does making good music mean to you? That's sort of what that's kind of. Again, because that thematic thing works. And even within like that straight ahead pop vibe, like if you listen to Charlie Puth, there's on one album it's influenced by so many different things. And Bruno does that as well. Like there's lines, there's definite lines, but you can hear different influences as the songs go on. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about that. I'm like saying I'm digging right now. Like EDM dance, house, funk, jazz funk fusion, and let's say like the Bruno Mars sound. And then I'm also really enjoying classical music right now. So you go, okay, let's make an album.
Well, I mean, there's a way to do that, but like.
Because you know what the thing is, the funny thing is that the one album that's coming out right now, is like it came out of me without me wanting it to be. It's like a lot of it's, I don't know. It's music that I'm enjoying, that I enjoyed, but it's not necessarily what I initially wanted to put out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
do you get what I'm like? I don't.
I
want to put it out. Like I'm proud of it.
No. I know what you're saying.
When I said
towards the question, okay, yeah, essentially in the context of the question you just asked me, that's how you're thinking. That's how you're feeling. Then pick up the mic. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think because you see, you ultimately. That question for me that you asked, it comes from a place of insecurity about how people will receive what you put out. So in that sense, it's all about, for me, then that question is all about brand and promotion, man. Like that's why I went to the thing of like, it depends on how you package it. If that makes sense. Because realistically, we're all musicians, we're all people, we're human beings. Like, we're not perfectly always in that one box all the time. We're gonna write other shit, and it's up to us to promote it right, to get our people to love it, man, and to put it in the right package, whatever that is for you.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah, I know it's really tough.
I still think that you can string this back into like the original thing that we was talking about, intention.
Yeah.
So, intention is also a very open-ended thing. So, intention, you can say, okay, that my intention is to make beautiful music.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and now go.
And then what? Yeah, like so. Where how much intention in how many aspects of creating a product is needed? Does intention is like, okay, Keith Jarrett making a beautiful solo on "When I Fall in Love." what was the intention. There was probably numerous intentions.
Yeah. And a lot of them were probably felt in the moment.
Because I think intention of how he practices is also another point of how it's received.
Yeah.
You know, intention is quite a... We haven't solved success by saying intention.
Yeah. No. You see, but it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one.
I know that's just what I'm saying. I'm just saying that this song goes deep.
Mm.
We go deep. Deep house music.
Yeah, deep house. Nice. Yeah.
It's time for my daytime nap.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. I don't know if that podcast made any fucking sense, but I think
we spoke about things.
Yeah, man.
Decade things.
Yeah.
Decade. Speaking of it, it's pretty interesting. I'm 10 years. It's coming to the end of 10 years out of school for me. So.
Oh really?
Yeah, I graduated. I matriculated in 2000 and. Oh wait, what? 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2000. Oh wait. So I entered college in 2009.
Nah, okay.
Yeah, so this is 10 years now, kind of entering the music scene as a professional, like starting to make money.
Yeah.
I mean, did odd gigs before it, but now kind of like.
Yeah, and also it's also the end of the decade.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're entering. I was born in 1990, so we're going into 2020. 30 years on this planet. It's very easy for me to figure out my age, as long as I know the year.
Me too, man.
If you're born in 2000, it's even easier.
Yeah.
Or if you're born in 1900.
But then you're probably dead.
Who's to say you did? I'm pretty sure there's a tortoise that was born in 1900 that's still alive.
Yeah, but does he know the date?
Don't question anything. I understand how you feel you can question things of life. You're not going to get anywhere with these questions, Daniel. You're not going to go far enough in life. Just obey and listen.
The worst attitude to life of all time.
No, bro, that's how you succeed. Stay under the radar. Don't ask any questions. Just do as you're told and say yes to the czar.
For fuck's sake. Okay, let's end it.
Yeah, cool.
So, thanks so much for watching. This is episode 10 of Backseat Musicians.
Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry. On a side note.
Yes.
Sitting in the corner like this
makes
your couch more comfortable. I just felt the viewers need to know.
Cool.
Important things about my back.
Our clip, as part of like the clip thing that I'll be doing, like literally that 50-second clip, there will be like clips with important topics, and then just that. Blake finally likes the couch.
One of the important topics. I have a bad back, okay? And this is not making my back better, probably worse, but I'm not moving as much.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
No problem. We'll sit like this from now on.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So thanks so much for watching episode 10 of Backseat Musicians. I'm here with Blake.
Yeah.
Cool. And if you like this, please leave your thoughts in the comments. If you didn't, hi. Just otherwise,
we love you too, though.
Like and subscribe and have a good time. You know, we're very tired. Goodbye.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Backseat musician.